The spotlight on the WNBA has never been brighter, but what was supposed to be a historic season is wrapped in controversy. And guess who's smack dab in the middle of it all? Superstar rookie Caitlyn Clark. This basketball sensation has been grabbing headlines left and right, but spoiler alert, it's not for the reasons you might think. So why is everyone in the WNBA fuming at Caitlyn Clark? Don't go anywhere because we're about to spill all the juicy details. Now, if you've been living under a rock lately, let me catch you up real quick. Straight out of West Des Moines, Iowa, Caitlyn burst onto the scene like a meteor in 2020 with the Iowa Hawkeyes. And she didn't stop there. Drafted as the #1 pick by the Indiana Fever in the WNBA, Clark has been shaking things up big time. In just a few months, she's taken women's basketball to new heights. Think soaring TV ratings, jam-packed arenas, merch flying off the shelves, and killer endorsement deals. During her 4 electrifying college seasons, she smashed records, becoming the greatest scorer in college basketball history with a jaw-dropping 3,951 points. Some even say she's the Stephen Curry of the WNBA, inspiring a whole new generation of basketball fanatics all over the globe. But you don't need to be a social analyst to see it. Caitlyn Clark has everyone in the WNBA on edge, and the tension is real. The anti-Caitlyn movement has been bubbling under the surface, and it exploded when Indiana Fever faced off against Chicago Sky. Chicago's Kennedy Carter unleashed a savage shoulder check on Caitlyn Clark, catching her off guard and sending her crashing to the court. And if that wasn't enough, guess who was cheering from the sidelines? None other than Angel Reese, Clark's old college rival turned teammate of Carter's. Talk about adding fuel to the fire. Clark brushed off the physical play, emphasizing the game's toughness and focusing on making her shots count. She's all about letting her performance on the court speak for itself. Meanwhile, Carter took to social media to question Clark's overall contribution beyond three-point shooting. She's embracing the controversy, suggesting she thrives more on criticism than praise, drawing on her upbringing with brothers where competition was intense. The league slapped Carter with a flagrant foul from that shoulder check on Clark, and Chicago's coach admitted it was out of line. But get this, no additional penalties are coming. The question now is, how do they settle this beef? Will it be with hard screens, some payback, or will Clark turn this drama into motivation to dominate even more? NBA star Draymond Green jumped into the mix, suggesting the Fever should sign an enforcer to shield their star player, much like his role with Steph Curry in the NBA. And Indiana might just have to take his advice because on June 16th, Angel took things to a whole new level with a head hit on Clark during a drive to the basket in the third quarter. Ouch, that's gotta sting. Even in the Fever's game against the Connecticut Suns, Caitlyn found herself amid more chaos. Dejanay Carrington fouled her and then had the nerve to claim it was a flop. Can you believe the audacity? It's pretty obvious that some WNBA players aren't too fond of Caitlyn Clark. But it's not just current players taking jabs at the 22-year-old. Legends of the game are getting in on the action too, and they're not holding back. Cheryl Swoops raised eyebrows by trying to discredit Caitlyn's scoring record with some questionable statements. Diana Taurasi, always known for her no-nonsense attitude, issued a serious warning to Clark about her future in the WNBA. Meanwhile, Breanna Stewart added fuel to the fire by suggesting Clark needs a championship to cement her status as an all-time great. And if that wasn't enough, Lynette Woodard jumped in, claiming Clark's scoring record isn't comparable to hers because she didn't play with a men's basketball or without a three-point line. Shots fired. These are not just criticisms. They're critiques from 4 absolute legends in women's basketball, but instead of celebrating Caitlyn's impact on the game, they're picking on a rookie. The ruckus has gotten so drastic that Indiana Congressman Jim Banks fired off a letter to WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelbert calling out what he sees as an excessive attack on his city's beloved basketball star. But why is all this disrespect aimed at Caitlyn Clarke? Here's the deal. In the WNBA, players have historically faced underrepresentation and marginalization. Caitlyn, without even stirring up controversy, has found herself at the center of a social media firestorm. She's not out there bashing anyone, not disrespecting anyone, yet somehow she's become the lightning rod for race debates on platforms like Twitter, all because she's outstanding at basketball. Sure, some might think comparing her to WNBA legends is a stretch. Caitlyn herself respects the greats like Maya Moore, Cheryl Swoops, Lynette Woodard, Breanna Stewart, Diana Taurasi, and many more who laid the foundation. But hey, a foundation is meant to be built upon, right? Caitlyn is bringing a level of talent and performance we've never seen before. She's putting up numbers that are breaking records, all while often playing with less supporting talent compared to powerhouse programs like UConn, LSU, and South Carolina. Iowa, where Caitlyn plays, isn't exactly a mid-major when it comes to basketball, but they do face challenges in recruiting top-tier talent compared to some of the big-name schools. Despite that, Caitlyn continues to shine brightly on the court. The hate swirling around Clark seems to come from various angles, but is she really overrated or too cocky? Let's break it down. First off, some might argue she's overrated, but let's look at the facts. Caitlyn just wrapped up a season averaging a mind-blowing 32 points, 7 rebounds, and 9 assists per game, all while facing relentless defensive pressure. That's no small feat. She's redefining what's possible in women's basketball and drawing unprecedented attention to the sport. Even legends like Dawn Staley have praised her as one of the greatest ever to step onto the court. Now, about the cockiness factor. Sure, Caitlyn isn't exactly known for flaunting herself like Angel Reese, who's earned her swagger with a stellar college career and a national championship under her belt. Some argue the game benefits from bold personalities like Reese's, making it more entertaining and vibrant. If Caitlyn were a bit more outspoken, it might even be justified given her incredible talent and impact on the game. But here's the kicker. Instead of celebrating her exceptional performances like dropping 18 points in the first quarter of a national championship game, people are focused on issues like officiating controversies or perceived favoritism. The reality is Caitlyn Clarke has a target on her back. In the WNBA, she's facing tougher competition than ever, where dominating isn't as straightforward as it was in college. Expecting 40-point games and Magic Johnson-esque passes from Clarke might leave you disappointed. Instead, what you get is a gritty fighter who battles through adversity on the court, taking on rivals and overcoming challenges. Indiana's struggles as a team don't make it any easier. In a recent game against New York, Clarke had a tough outing, shooting just 1 for 10 and scoring a measly 3 points in a blowout loss. To add insult to injury, she left the game with a banged-up ear after a collision on a screen. It's clear the league sees her as a threat, and opponents aren't holding back. New York's veteran guard Sabrina Lonescu didn't mince words, acknowledging Clarke as the focal point of her team and emphasizing the strategy to make life tough for her on the court. Some of this is just business teams strategizing to win, but let's face it, there's a personal edge too. Maybe it's envy over her fame, her money, or the spotlight she commands. Or perhaps it's just the classic tale of a rookie who needs to prove herself in the big leagues. But here's where it gets spicy. There's shoving, there's tension, and there's controversy brewing every game. And you know what? That's the stuff that keeps fans glued to their screens. In the world of sports, controversy sells. It's like a magnet drawing in viewers, wondering what will happen next as Caitlyn Clarke continues to evolve her game. Moving up in the WNBA is a huge leap from college, where the competition and skill level are on another level with only 144 roster spots for the best players globally. It's logical to expect Caitlyn to adjust and showcase her full arsenal of passing, scoring, and leadership skills much like she did in Iowa. What would really spice things up is if everyone adopted Caitlyn Clarke's mindset. No holding back, just pure competition. No kid gloves here, folks. Let's play ball. In the business world of sports, Caitlyn Clarke is a game changer. She's bringing in sponsorship money, drawing fans, and getting media buzz that the WNBA has struggled to generate in over 25 years. It's a big win for the league, even if not everyone loves the drama she brings. So whether you're a fan of her style or not, you can't deny Caitlyn Clarke's impact on women's basketball. No college athlete in the last 25 years has garnered as much attention and elevated the sport as she has. Women's college basketball is enjoying peak popularity right now, largely thanks to Clarke's influence. As Dawn Staley rightfully pointed out, Caitlyn is already one of the greatest of all time in her sport, but not everyone is ready to hear that truth. As we wrap up this roller coaster journey through the world of Caitlyn Clarke and the WNBA, one thing is clear. Love her or not, she's undeniably changing the game. So what's your take on Caitlyn Clarke's rookie season in the WNBA? Is she overrated or just getting started? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed diving into the drama, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a beat. Until next time.